Hi there YouTube, this is Daniel back again with another YouTube video. This time I'm gonna show you my most recent single issue comic book haul. This one is for December and it's also a bit late, like the last one I did, but this time it's not my fault. This time it's the long weekends over Christmas and New Year's. It's the weekend's fault, not the artist. But the reasons is because the deliveries to my LCS got delayed. But anyhow, I have still some books to pick up from December. It's gonna probably arrive this week or next week. But at least I had about 12 or 13 books now. So I'm gonna show you those and give you my thoughts on them. First up we have Captain Marvel, or the Mighty Captain Marvel issue 0 by Margaret Stohl and some guy named Lazo. The artwork is really nice. I enjoyed it a lot. But I was a bit thrown off when reading this because I had no idea what had happened before, since I didn't read the Civil War event or Civil War II event. So I had no idea what they were referring to all the time through the issue. So hopefully that will be a lot clearer in the future issues. But I was a bit disappointed with this one. But the artwork is nice and the story, for what it was nice as well. But I had no idea what was going on. Other than she had no more friends and she was really sad. Hawkeye issue 1 by Kelly Thompson and Leonardo Romero. I really enjoyed this one. Apparently this takes place right after Civil War II as well. I'm not sure how much Kate Bishop, who is the new Hawkeye, was involved within Civil War II, but it's a good first issue. She goes to LA, opens her own private investigative agency or firm or whatever it's called, and there's a lot of humor mixed in here as well, which I liked, and the artwork is really fun to look at as well. So yeah, I'm excited to continue reading this title for the foreseeable future at least. So I'm gonna give it 4 or 5 issues before I decide if I'm gonna drop it or just keep on going with it. Reborn issue 3 by Mark Miller and Greg Capullo. Yeah, honestly I can't remember much about this issue. It was a while ago since I read it, but I think I enjoyed it. But I'm not really sure where they are going with this. They're painting a large world, but they aren't really exploring that. And I'm not really sure how this is gonna tie together at the end of issue 6, which is gonna end the series, at least the first arc. I think it's billed as a miniseries, so I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that they can pull it off. The artwork is awesome, as usual with Greg Capullo. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I'm gonna stick to it till the end at least, the 6th issue. So yeah. Motor Crush, issue 1 by Fletcher, Stewart and Tarr. They did this Batgirl series I have not read yet, but it sounded quite interesting, and the story in this one, it's about this girl here trying to get into the Grand Prix for motorcycles, and there's this illegal drug that can be used for humans and for the engines, and there's illegal street races going on, trying to win Crush, and there's some betrayal as well. They are building a small little world in this city, and I'm quite intrigued to know more about this, and I like the artwork. It's a lot of fun to look at, and the story shows promise as well. So yeah, I'm gonna at least try for 3 or 4 issues and then decide if I'm gonna drop it or not. But so far it's nice. Hulk issue 1 by Tamaki, Leon and Mila. You get this also takes place right after Civil War II, but this one does a better job at explaining to the reader what had happened to her, to the character, before this issue, during Civil War II. And you get to follow her on her first day back at work, basically. And yeah, I really like the artwork, so I'm really happy to continue reading this for the foreseeable couple of issues at least. Then I'll decide, as usual, after about 3 or 4 issues, if I'm gonna stick to it or not. Mother Panic issue 2. This one is written by Jody Houser and drawn by Tommy Edwards. This one is a lot better than the first issue, at least to me. The story was a bit better and the artwork is the same, but at least you started to know more about the main character, and I didn't really hate her as much as I did after the first issue. So at least for now, I'm being more happy with this series, and we'll see what issue 3 does and if I'm gonna drop it after that or not. Invincible Iron Man number 1, with Riri Williams as the new Iron Man, as Iron Heart. It was a really strong first issue. It really explored the character with small glimpses into the past, and it continued really well with issue 2. And it's written by Brian Michael Bendis. Oh, sorry. That's issue 1. This is issue 2, so of course. Yeah, as I said, issue 1 did a really good job, and issue 2 continued that. And I really enjoyed reading these 2 issues. So I'm happy to continue this series for a while now. I have a small theory about Invincible Iron Man. I'm thinking that Riri Williams as the character of Iron Man is gonna get her own title as Iron Heart when Tony Stark somehow is back in his suit. Not really sure how that's gonna work or if it's even possible, but at least that's a theory. Depends on the sales, I guess. But I really enjoyed it for what it was, and the artwork is really good as well. So yeah. Now we're getting into my favorite picks of the month, and one of those favorites is one of those that I usually like the most. And yeah, it's Trinity number 4. This time we go to Themyscira, and we travel with Wonder Woman, and Superman and Batman goes with her as they have accompanied each other in this dreamlike world. They are really aware of the fact that nothing is real here, or at least what they see isn't real. But they just have to go with the flow. They really don't see a way out right now, and it ends with quite a surprise to me. I'm not really sure what villain this is, Mongol, but yeah, looks to be an interesting read for the future at least. I'm sticking to this like glue, so yeah, I'm not dropping the series for the foreseeable future at least. 7 to Eternity issue 4 is one of my favorite issues this month. It's a little bit slower than the 3 issues before it, but it goes deeper into the past of certain characters and their motivations for defying the Mud King. So, and the artwork is just awesome. I love the artwork in this series, and I can't wait to get my hands on one of those oversized hardcovers that might be in store for the future. And this book ends the first story arc, so we're gonna get a trade paperback in February, I think. And I urge anyone who has been on the fence about reading this to pick up that trade. Yeah, I'm not gonna drop this for a long while at least, probably when it ends. The Hunt has been one of my favorites since I picked it up this summer, and this is issue 5 by Colin Larmer. He writes and draws the story. This was apparently a miniseries of 5 issues. I had no idea. So this ended the first, or the series so far. They might make another miniseries in the future, depending on what Colin wants and depending on the sales, I guess. But I really enjoyed it. The artwork is awesome and the story has been great so far. The problem I believe with miniseries is that it's quite difficult to wrap it up. And I think this issue suffers a bit from that. It's difficult to wrap a story up in a satisfying way. But yeah, it's quite, it's done well enough. So I can recommend anyone to pick up the trade that's being released now in February. So if you're interested in this series, please pick it up in trade. I have enjoyed it a lot reading it in single issues, so yeah, if you have been on the fence about this or wondering about this, it's gonna be probably an easy pickup for most of you. But yeah, I liked it a lot. Just disappointed that it was a miniseries. At Vertigo we have this titled Frostbite, another miniseries. It's gonna be 6 issues, and it's written by Joshua Williamson and drawn by Jason Sean Alexander. The artwork is as always awesome to look at. In this issue, the crazy action is a bit toned down, but hey, there's a guy with a polar bear on a leash, so it looks awesome. And the covers on these issues have all been awesome to look at as well. So I'm really happy about the series, and this one ends with a bit of a twist. So I won't spoil that for you. But it shows promise for the 2 remaining issues, and I hope that they can wrap it up in a good, satisfying way. And now I have the final issue for my whole of December, basically. Yeah, it's Hadrian's Wall, issue 4. This was probably my favorite issue for December so far, not counting the missing ones. But yeah, it's a miniseries for 8 issues. So Image called this story arc wrap up or whatever, but it basically just yeah, it capitalizes on the small things being dropped in the previous issues, and it ends with quite a twist. And throughout the issue, basically, you have the crew of Hadrian's Wall, the survey ship, and Simon, the investigator tasked with dealing with this apparent murder. And it ends with basically becoming something else. The entire series is totally shifting gear now, and yeah, I'm so excited to see what's gonna be next for this issue. It's gonna come back now in the end of March, so yeah, keep an eye out for this. There might be a trade now in between, but I'm not sure. Probably not. I'm thinking they are gonna collect everything into one trade. So yeah, that's my pickups for December of 2016. And if you like this type of video, if you have any questions about the books I pick up, if you have any suggestions for books to pick up, please leave my comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Until next time, bye bye.